Good afternoon, everyone. First of all, we wish you a very happy and successful and healthy New Year 2024. So, the first video of ours for this New Year will be a medium level component wherein you can see the drawing over here. There will be two pages of the drawing which describes the component. The first page actually has three different views. You can see the front view, the right view, as well as the top view. The second page of the drawing actually includes the section view in the front view. The section is cut at this location, as you can see. This is only cut to describe the internal features, so we can understand how the cuts are done in a better manner. Now, taking these as the drawing, we are supposed to make the model. So let's begin making the model using CATIA as our CAD tool. At the start, since we are working in a part design, we'll be using a part design as our workbench. Again, to add material, I'd like to start with the base and then slowly go further up so we can make our model one after the other. So to start with the base, I'm trying to use pad because the addition of material is done using pad. And there is a rectangle. I'm taking this particular base. Let's try to constrain it. This is 246. This is 24. As you can see, 24, 246. The overall addition is 204. So I'll do it on either sides by taking mirrored event and giving it 102 because double of this is 204. This is the base. Now there are also arcs and everything located over here. So we'll try to give that too. This is again done at the center. This is the reference. From here we'll actually have to make the model. This is the center. Now the dimension of this is actually given as 76. I'm taking the arc dimension as 76. And to add material to this, it is required that you close the sketch. So I'd like to close the sketch using a simple line and then exit and try to add material to 110 on both the sides. So again I'm doing this, I'll give it 110 by 2, either way you can give it and say okay. This is your base feature. On top of it you do have another one which is cylindrical feature of 28 arc 100 with 72 diam. Let's try to make that. While making it, I'd prefer to use a shaft because I need to maintain all the dimensions. I'm using a shaft command and I'm using my axis as the center, of course. Now the arc on the top is actually 100. So I'm just trying to take this as 100. Now the diameter for this towards the end is actually 72, sorry, as is shown here. So I'll just take it as diameter and give it as 72. Now we do know that the end height from here is 284. So from here to the end height, I'm taking it as 284. Now let's try to close the profile to create the shaft, but I'll be using this as my reference just for ending the sketch. Straight till here and then exit. We do know that this is the constrained sketch. Now it will create a revolve feature in this manner. This is the top feature. Now from here there are many other addition of materials done. For example, as you can see, there is a circle over here which is added up to 96 and then further material is added. So let's try to add the 96 first and then slowly proceed with 20 and the 48. So the distance for this is 68 from the center. So let us try to take a reference from the center towards this side, saying it's supposed to be at 68. At this particular plane, we are supposed to create a cylindrical feature. Now, the cylindrical feature is of 160 diameter and is added up to 96. Considering these dimensions, it should start from 76 from the reference, that is this reference. So I'm taking this as 76, but understanding the drawing again, the 76 is for the bigger circle and not for the smaller circle. So I'll take 76 first and then try to give 20 and add the material. So from taking this, I can directly give 20 onto the other side and take the plate. One second, I took the wrong feature. This is at 76. From here, I need to take another plane at 20. On this, I'd like to use pad to create the 96. The reason I have taken like this is to instead of creating a revolve, I'd like to create a body first and then start adding material. You can do everything in one attempt also using a shaft command. Whichever is easy for you, actually doing it in one go is actually a little better in comparison to doing it multiple times. So if you want, I can directly use a shaft feature as well. These two are my references. So from beginning, I'd like the axis. Now, I should require the length of the axis here first, which is starting from, it's starting from 148 from the base again. So this is 148. If you're using shaft, you need not take these planes. It's not mandatory to, so it's all right. Again, I'm starting. The shape actually goes this way. I'll make this and I'll make this feature a little later. Let me try to close it till here and start giving the dimensions. Now the dimensions here are actually, this is supposed to be 220 and this length is 20. Now the inner diameter for this is actually 160 and this is supposed to be at the length of 96. Now we do require the distances, so from here to here, instead of taking the planes, I'm directly constraining the dimension by giving 76. Now if you'd like to make the feature which is at the back as well, you can. So let's try to do that too, considering this as the center. This is the arc which I have. I'll try to place this on this. Now the arc dimension and everything are given in the next, which is R15. So let's try to give this dimension as R15. And we do have a straight line which goes this way. And then there is an arc again. So I'll be using a 3-point arc and say this is supposed to be 105. Now the overall dimensions for all of these are again given. So let's try to take the dimensions again as per our as per the dimensions shown here. From here to here is actually supposed to be 48. And the dimensions are supposed to be 84 and 60. So from supposed to be 84, this is supposed to be 60. These are the dimensions. Now the overall length is 48, which is already given. Okay, assuming the length of this is around 30. Okay, so after this, let's try to close the model and then try to create the shaft. So before doing that, let me try to delete the unnecessary lines and then extend whatever is required. Then we can proceed further. Now, once I exit, you will be able to see that it creates a shaft. This is the feature as you can see in the cross section. Now from here, there are a lot of internal cuts which are actually done. Let us begin with this cut and then slowly proceed with the internal cuts in general. Or we can do this cut and then go ahead as well, but this is an easier one. So again, to remove the material, we'll be using a pocket command. So again, I have a pocket. And then I'll be removing the material. Now to remove the material, I do have a center point arc located over here and then I'm trying to take the arc. Now I have not selected any references, but I do know that this should be lying on this, and I will show you how it works out. Coincidence and coincidence, and I'd like to keep them both concentric. These two will automatically become concentric once I select the center. Now, the diameter of the internal cut is actually 60. As you can see, the cut has a straight line and then a closure. So let's try to do that as well. Considering this as the end point, this is the closed area. Now once I exit, it tries to remove the material from the bottom side. I'll just show you the preview. It has to be done on both the sides to only up to 80. So I'll say mirrored event to up to 40. So it does cut material on both the sides this way. From here, let's try to remove material off of this in this manner. Again, I'll be using a material group command to remove material in a circular fashion with respect to an axis. Since I already have an axis, I can use this axis as a reference and start making my model. Now, from here, it is supposed to be at 156. So, let me try to use the references of the internal cut if possible. Okay, the internal cuts are not actually visible. So, let me try to take a section view, easy for me. Yes, this is the reference I actually wanted. So, let me try to take that as my reference too. Now, let us start making the cut for our internal feature. So, beginning from here, I do have a cut like this, and then goes this way and then closes here. This is the overall cut I'd like off of the existing body. Now, to do so, we require all the dimensions which are given in the drawing. So, this is supposed to be 156 and this is supposed to be 56. Let us give the diameters as well. The diameter for the top one is actually 48, as you can see, and the inner one is actually 42. Once I exit, now it will try to remove the material from the internal body. You can actually take a dynamic sectioning to see it if you want a better view. This is dynamic sectioning. I want it exactly at the front view. Now, not only this, there are internal cuts in this feature too, as you can see over here. So, to do so, again we can use the same groove command and use the same plane wherein you have used the shaft earlier. So, I can directly take the reference and give the axis as already which we know, and then use other references which are required to remove the material. Now that we have the references, we'll try to make the sketch. It starts from here, goes down, and then goes this way, and then goes this way, and then goes this way. This is the actual profile required for it to remove the internal cuts. The next step is to dimension them. Since I've already given this, let me try to take that as 92, which is already given in the drawing, and the diametrical dimension, which is 136. Now I do have these as well, this internal cut as well. So this internal cut is supposed to be 62. So let me try to give that as 62 as well. Now this again cut is supposed to be 30. So I'm giving that as 30. I do know the dimensions, that is from here to here is supposed to be 33. So I'm giving this as 33, which you can actually see in the drawing. And let me try to check for the internal cuts. As you can see, the dimensions are already given here. Now, understanding the drawing, let me try to give these dimensions too, which are not specified. Taking this is 20, not 2, 20. So that way the cut will be properly internally done, as you can see. And once I exit, it will create the internal cut as you can see in this. So when I take a section view, that is at this particular plane, you will be seeing this section. Now, last but not the least, you do know that we do have to give holes as well as our rounds. So there are 8 holes here. So I'd like to use a simple point pattern to maintain the holes. Let me try to use it this way. Let me try to take the top view again. I do have one here. So, and I'd like to mirror this onto the other side. Similarly, I'd like to mirror these two onto this side. I have one here too. And then I'd like to mirror this onto this side. And then taking these two again, I'd like to mirror this on the other side. Now, coming to the dimension part of it, the distance between these two is supposed to be 200. Similarly, again, it's the same for this one as well. Now, similarly, the distance between these two is supposed to be 80. And you can see the sketch is actually constrained. If I give the distance between these two is also supposed to be 80. No, this is supposed to be 160. It's mentioned over here. I'm so sorry. This is supposed to be 160. Now, when I exit, you'll be seeing the points. So I'd like to give a hole on one point and then try to create the dimensions for the same. It is 16 and it is said to be through from this particular point. I can pattern these using my user pattern and selecting the points. Hole, I can keep the specifications and create the holes, as you can see. Again, last but not the least are our rounds. There are R50 over here. So let me try to take R50 over here first, which is the major one. These are your major rounds. Other ones, all are your small rounds, which are featured throughout the model. As you can see, they are actually used everywhere. So let me try to take that and start giving rounds as per our requirement, which is actually at this location as well as this location, and these 4 as well. Supposed to be 10, to be honest. It's given 10 over here, and maybe the corners, and say okay, these are the rounds which I can give to the existing model. This is how you make a simple medium level component using CATIA as the CAD tool. I can give you more complex models as well at our training session if you are interested. We do have advanced level of training as well. So that way you'll be learning more complex models. Here I'll be showing you the dynamic section view once so you can understand how actually the cuts are. Similarly at the center how the cuts are, and you can see the model as per the drawing. So if you're willing to learn further advanced level of CATIA, you can contact us. The details are given in the description below. Meanwhile, please like and subscribe to our channel, which gives us a little more boost to post or post more tutorials on more complex models. Thank you.